And keep relax your body. So gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound mentally, relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. And just let everything to settle down as it is. Do nothing extra. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, today we're going to practice our main meditation technique, tranquility meditation, or samatha mental culture, or chitta bhavana, samadhi meditation, and the vipassana meditation, or insight meditation, or panya bhavana, or analytical meditation. So, in the beginning, as foundation, we have to develop undisturbed mind, and we have to make our mind usable to vipassana level of analytical meditation. So for that, it is not something you gain through meditation. What you have to do in tranquility meditation, try to let go things and let things to settle down. It's called, when it comes to samadhi, you develop unoccupied mind for anything. Just think about yourself. The mostly we occupied with ourselves. And after the meditation, I will give you the list that we mostly occupied with our life. But in the beginning, remember, when you develop the meditation, when you practice the meditation, be careful yourself, observe yourself and see yourself. Is your mind in the moment occupied with something or not? If so, it is your responsibility to take it out. And once the mind take it out like that way, it has to place somewhere. Because in the beginning, conventionally, you need a mental object to settle down your mind. Without a mental object in the beginning, it is difficult. So for that, we follow our inhalation, exhalation. Mainly when you come to inhalation, exhalation, always your inhalation and exhalation happen in the present moment. So if your mind follow the inhalation, exhalation means your mind always going to be in the present moment. So what is the very nature of the present moment? There is no greed, hatred, and the delusion in the present moment. Always the greed, hatred, or the delusion arise related to past or the future. So then when you are able to settle down with the inhalation, exhalation, naturally your mind start to release that all the defilement or the mental formations or the sanskara. And once the mind get out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion itself, it going to become purified. And it going to get into its own clarity. So once the mind become clear, that is where your mind become usable. Unclean mind also you can use, but out of that unclean mind, whatever you gain, you're going to gain with the dirt that you carry within yourself. So that's why in the beginning you have to clean it. So once you clean it, so whatever the perception you see through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you're going to get it very clearly. Once the perception become very clear, that's mean the form become very clear. Then from there we go to the vipassana level. So in the beginning, remember then tranquility meditation, through the tranquility meditation, following your inhalation, exhalation, develop undisturbed mind, an unoccupied mind. Just be with the inhalation, exhalation and follow it. Separately recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation, and follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. And also some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize it. Don't interfere with it. Don't try to maintain. Don't think I inhale, I exhale. Don't count. Don't visualize. Don't comment on inhalation, exhalation. Just develop the clarity and allow it to happen itself. And once your breathing, your mind, your thoughts settle down to one point, from there we go to vipassana level. So in the vipassana level, you follow the same inhalation, exhalation, but drop all the surface level of details. Inhalation, exhalation, it's a dualistic mind. Long, short, dualistic. Heavy, soft, dualistic. Come to a point to observe without this dualistic mind. So that is the vipassana. Can you observe the inhalation or exhalation without recognizing inhalation or exhalation? Is there anything else? How are you going to recognize that the whatever the inhalation exhalation happens without the name of the inhalation exhalation? Maybe short and long, it is very easy, we can recognize. But is there any way that your mind can recognize it without taking it as a long or short? And your mind can recognize very easily the beginning, middle, and end, that entire process of inhalation, exhalation. But is there any way? Can you recognize the breathing itself without naming or without comparing it or without separating it? If you come to that point, then you go deeper. It is a different experience. It's the same like when it comes to you or your husband, wife, children, friends, and family members. That how about you take out the name from that person? You take out the relationship from that person. You take out the gender from that person. You take out the color from that person. You take out the culture from that person. So then after that, what you recognize? That even though you take out that everything, that doesn't mean that person going to disappear. There is somebody going to be there. But in day-to-day life, what is happening? We put on that person, that organic being, what we do? We put the name, we put the gender, we put the color, we put the nation, we put the many other details on it, and through that we recognize that person. So that is conventional recognition. So when it comes to vipassana, you don't go with that details. That is why it's called pure perception. You go to the pure existence of the being. In that moment, this is not my or our, that kind of relationship. So then when it comes to feelings, the same. So when the inhalation, exhalation happens, can you recognize that sensation without naming to inhalation or exhalation, just as a feeling? Without recognizing this is a good feeling, this is uncomfortable feeling. So without that, can you recognize without even that the self related, this is mine? That is where you're going to see something. That is where you come to a pure perception, clear perception. So then we're going to exercise a little bit this. When it comes to inhalation, exhalation, in the Vipassana level, even don't mix your own experience, whatever happened in the very last moment. Rescue your mind. You have to be so energetic, clear, strong to release your mind that whatever happened in this very moment. That is where you become strong. Maybe it is very difficult. Then maybe you can do 200-pound bench press or 200-pound squat. But that is maybe very easy. Even you can get a helper. But this is so crazy. Sometimes mind kind of like a blowout. That much sometimes it is very difficult. Sweating. And you feel heavy sometimes. When you try to experience it within yourself. So then come to a point when you observe inhalation, exhalation in the self. So you have to go step by step. That's why the samatha is you get trained little by little, little by little. You get used to, you start to see and observe inhalation, exhalation separately and follow the entire continuation and recognize long, short, heavy. Because without seeing that, you cannot let go it. Now you see in the surface level, in the samatha meditation, now you see. And then when it comes to vipassana, you can release it from your mind. Because you know it, you saw it. Otherwise, if you don't see the heaviness or the softness of the inhalation, exhalation, how you get out of it? You cannot. So then that's why in the samatha meditation is important when you go to vipassana. So once you go to vipassana, just be with the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, and don't try to name it, don't try to categorize it, don't try to maintain it and separate, don't try to interconnect with your experience. Just see what it is and recognize the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within that experience. And see if you can recognize it. You don't need to develop preconditioned mind. Keep the clarity and empty, clear, and see what you can recognize. So let's get into practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line. And be comfortable with your posture. Bring your attention to your body. And scan your body head to toes 3 times and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. Detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and later follow the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within the sensation you experience. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And just allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen itself. And when it happens, just recognize. So before it happens, don't allow your mind to jump. Learn to wait and learn to see. Just recognize separately inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. Do nothing extra. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation exhalation. If you experience some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, just accept it. Let go of the details that you see with the inhalation, exhalation, and completely be free from all the thoughts or the patterns and see the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature or the selflessness within each and every sensation you experience. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this mentally, repeat after me with clear intention. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, and as you experience every day in our life, always our mind look for something to clinging, holding, grasping. And it's kind of like when it comes to the society, you have seen the beggars. It's always, and asking from something. So if you look very carefully, deeper inside your mind, with the projecting your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind towards this outside. So eye with the colors or the pictures or the forms, or the ear with the sound and the forms, the nose with the aroma with the forms, tongue with the taste or with the forms, and the body sensation and with the forms, or the feelings with the forms, and the mind with the thoughts or the forms. Always look for something, look for something, look for something. It's a kind of like that's where we depending from the this feeling or the sensation. So when it comes to that, where this going to end? And who satisfied this? Just look yourself from your childhood to this moment. How much things that you provide to you, and sometimes you took very very dangerous decisions in life, very risky, and but still you go through this all and try to find the satisfaction, but still this keep going. So this where this going to end. And it look like end, but it giving another beginning to something new. So it like when you plant a seed on, and the seed itself not going to be the seed every day, then it cannot become a tree. So the tree, the seed itself change to tree. And when you see the seed change, you become happy. And then it become a tree. But you don't see this, the seed itself transformed to tree, and then even though you see that the seed change, that change giving birth to something, and then the tree become like this, then you see the flowers and the fruits, you become so happy when the new branches come, but you don't see that you have no power to stop this. Only thing is what you have, you just accept it. So with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that you don't see, that maybe you find the satisfaction, you feel good, but that feeling good or the satisfaction again lead you to have the your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. You cannot stop this. Just feeding to it, you cannot stop this. The same thing with the conventional life also. Feeding to desires, you cannot find the satisfaction. If it is so, this all the most of the rich people, they all should find the satisfaction. But when they become more rich and more successful in conventional life, whatever the success that they believe, they come with to that position with the disappointment, unhappiness, worry. The very reason for that, because we don't develop a mind to be in the present moment and recognizing that the moment that what you experience. So if you able to come to a point to experience what you the what you go through in this moment without any past or the future thoughts, just in the moment of how you go through what you go through, that understanding is bringing you to a point to exist without occupied with something. So your mind become free from things. The very purpose of meditation in the beginning, remember, come to that level, developing unoccupied mind. Why? Because if you occupied, that's mean you occupied with your thoughts. The mostly that occupied mind brings certain things to our life. One is old memory. That is one thing, that whatever that you have in you, old memory, that's mean when you have it, that's mean your mind occupied with it. Another one is the anger. So when you're angry means your mind occupied deeply with something. Another one is the failing. When you fail, that if you are not in the moment that able to find the balance itself, that is the what we call fail. So then in the moment you have to look mentally, are you balanced or are you going down? Are you kind of like the falling down? with the ideas, with the thoughts. Why it happening? Because your mind deeply occupied with something. Because when the mind unoccupied, mind not going to fail. So it is kind of like whatever you want, you cannot get it, or you go and you lose it. Another thing is the becoming wrong. You have the idea, or you have the desire, you have the goal, and but you go far away from it step by step, rather than come closer to that, you become that the separate from it. Another thing is becoming sad. So the sadness also come with the occupied mind. Another one is the afraid. If you are afraid for something, the fear, that the fear arise because of you having a gap in between your experience and the recognition. That is where the fear arises. What you experience and your recognition, there is a gap. That gap always brings the fear. Another one is the cry. So the cry is a mental emotional reaction mostly, but it comes as a result of occupied mind. And other one is becoming blind. Sensually, with the perception, we cannot recognize. So whatever happen, whatever see, whatever hear, whatever smell, taste, feel, the ideas, we cannot recognize. That blindness also arise as a result of occupied mind. Another one is the loneliness. So when you feel lonely, that loneliness always come out of that deeply you are addicted to occupied with something. When that occupied mind cannot fulfill whatever that occupation, that then itself it feel lonely. And always other thing is the dead. The death means it's not you completely dying. Then when you look yourself, look at your past and that each and every moment that you went through, and that everything is gone, that how you can recognize that everything gone in the moment when you are occupied with the memory. That is where it going to show you that your past already dead. So this list, remember, when you are in the present moment, that everything going to go away. When you are come to the present moment of the experience, that everything disappear. So when you come to that, the present moment means always you develop in unoccupied mind. So when you have the unoccupied mind, that is where the mind itself going to become clear. So you develop the clarity. When you have the clarity, recognition come. Recognition means pure perception. Seeing itself become knowing. Hearing itself become knowing or understanding. Smell itself become understanding. So sometimes you say, when you see something, when you hear something, when you smell something, when you taste something, you say, let me try, let me see, let me hear. See that let me, that's mean you try to occupy. When you occupied, in conventionally we think that we can see something, we can, But when you occupied, what will happen? You miss it. So that's why you have to practice this method, because otherwise in day-to-day life, why you have to practice meditation? Because in day-to-day life we develop this occupied mind. So as example, sometimes it asks, in application as occupation, and sometimes we say, self-employed, housewife, or whatever your profession. So that's mean itself that you telling, you involving with something, because in the conventional life it giving validation. No, it is the conventional life, it giving validation. You have to occupy with something. Otherwise, socially, conventionally, you are not a valid person. But still look yourself, what that validation does to you, what it brings to you. It is brings the happiness. Is it brings you the clarity? Is it brings you the calmness? That occupation always brings you fear, unhappiness, sadness, worry. And that occupation brings you the real death also. It is not just the death of your past. It's really sometimes that whatever the the job that you keep doing, sometimes it kill you. You don't see sometimes. Why? Because you get angry, mad, sad, worry. What happening moment by moment? It hit your blood. When it hit your blood, what does that mean? You die. It kill you deeply inside. But we don't take it like that. As you know, in America, mostly that Monday morning people used to get heart attack before this pandemic situation. Why? Because most of people don't like to go to work. So whatever the work they do, they don't like it. It's like they go to office like they're going to die. And sometimes the whatever the things that you hold as a society, hold as that the family, hold as the comfort. In the moment you see, it is kind of like good for you, but it deeply underneath, you know the the bottom that you don't see it slowly develop loneliness. And then you always depending. So the solution for this all, having a very clear unoccupied mind. So then remember, when it comes to meditation, learn to release your thoughts. It's okay. So whatever happened, it's okay. Just let things to settle down. Even it come to a point that you're going to die in the very next one, it is okay, because somehow it's going to happen. That much you have to be strong. And you're going to hear in the very next moment, your husband died, your wife died, your child died, even you're going to die. It's okay. Just come to a point. And maybe you're going to hear next day, you're going to destroy this, you fired already. It's okay. Why? Because you come to an unoccupied mind. But if you already look for occupation, occupied, you become a kind of like a deeply. In this samsaric journey, you become a being always to become bigger. But when it comes to vipassana, you practice little bit, even 1 second. You get out of this all and you develop unoccupied mind. That is where you feel the clarity. So the clarity is kind of like, it's a crystal clear, like a diamond. It look like white, but all the colors there. You cannot see just looking at it. But if you deeply analyze all the colors in this universe, you will find in very tiny, tiny diamond. So when it comes to the unoccupied mind, the same. When you become empty, all the satisfaction you look through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and grab this all the Friday night that the party entire United States and put it to little tablet. And the unoccupied mind have the satisfaction more than that. It's like that. You have to develop that. You have to look the other side of the life, because we go always looking this is what, why? Because this is what we see, this is what we hear, and look at what is happening to the world. And people sometimes become so disappointed, unhappy when they cannot repeat whatever the things that they keep doing. So it's kind of like we develop a kind of like a beggary lifestyle. You don't become a debtor, don't become a kind of like the dependency in mentality, don't develop that. But in conventional life, you have to go through the situation. But remember, when it comes to vipassana, little by little, and step back rather than move forward projecting, and go towards something, stretching yourself to outside, and slowly start to release yourself. Because we always stretching ourselves to outside, we stretching to tomorrow, to next year. Now entire world already, because of this pandemic situation, they already stretching, to next year, thinking, oh, this year done, we cannot do anything anymore, so let's plan next year. See, you already stretch towards the months ahead. It make you fearful, it make you afraid, it make you unbalanced, it make you blind, it make you cry, it make you lonely, it make you fail, and it make you dead. Because when you stretch yourself, you kind of like a dead person in the moment. Why? Because you are not living. You don't see, you don't hear, you don't feel anything. You feel numb. It's kind of like you dead. So then remember yourself. Through the samatha and vipassana, it take you to a more life to unoccupied. That is where you're going to experience the beauty of the human mind. Because when you occupied with something, you become very limited to only that. Then you will not experience that. The mostly that's why we occupied with our own thoughts, our own past. Because of that, we don't experience the very next moment. So then yourself, it is your responsibility. because we deeply, psychologically, we deeply dealing with our own inner nature. Get out of it. No matter whatever happen, come to a point. It's okay. It's okay. We didn't bring anything. We didn't plan anything to come here. Or, this way, that way. We don't have the blueprint. It should be like this. No, and you never plan this anything in your life. That's the true nature. You are like the wind always. You are like the clouds always. But you don't see that nature within you. You like the water within yourself, like, but you don't see it. Why? Because you look somewhere else. That's why one time, in one movie that the Bruce Lee telling, when try to show the moon and tell, don't look at the finger, look at the moon. Because we look somewhere else. And because of that, we don't see. So then yourself, look first yourself and within yourself what you occupied. Then you see it. It is mostly your own mind. Get out of it. And that is where you're going to become completely, find the satisfaction. Otherwise, deeply, subconsciously, that we are mostly dealing with our inner nature. There was a student came to one meditation center. It's a true story that happened somewhere. And then this student start to practice meditation. He used to do pretty good in the beginning, and then what happened? He start to felt, when he go deeper tranquility state, he start to feel like a spider come in front of him. Little by little, it was a very little spider. And then what happened? Little by little, this spider became bigger, 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 day by day, day by day. So then he came to teacher and told this. The teacher told, don't try to, focus that. Just keep focusing to your primary mental object and forget it. But then one day he went to get a knife. Then the teacher asked, why you having a knife when you go to meditate? Then he told, no, in front of me, I want to keep this knife. Why? Because this spider appear. I know it is very real, but I don't want to get disturbed to my meditation. I don't want to open my eyes, but I see it's very real. And when I open my eyes, it disappeared, run away. So then the teacher told, no, don't get the knife. And he gave a marker pen and told, so rather than putting the knife in front of you, when the spider appear, without moving slowly, try to mark a cross on the spider's back. So he agreed to do that. And then the next day he went and meditated, and then what happened? The spider appeared. And it is bigger than he thought. So now he slowly, without making any movement, so what he did, he made a cross on the spider's back. And then he went back to the meditation, and then the spider ran away. And so then he went to the teacher. And the teacher asked, did you do the same as I mentioned? Of course I did. So what happened? Nothing happened, it ran away. So the teacher told, no, and lift your t-shirt and look your belly. And he looked his belly and he saw the cross. So that is what happening sometimes, mostly. Because with our own nature, our inside sometimes project, because stretch outside. And through these outside things, it's come our own inside. We have deeper this psychological, tangles. It's kind of like a spider web, very sometimes very difficult to recognize, you know. So, but when it comes to clear comprehension, that's why it say don't interfere with your thoughts. Why? Because maybe we have good thoughts, but mostly from the sansaric journey, we accumulated a lot of unnecessary unnecessary thoughts. Just look from morning to this moment today, and if you are able to calculate and write down how many valuable thoughts that you had, how many unnecessary thoughts you had, and put it to both sides and see what is the higher, which side is the higher, which side is the heavy. And look at this all this pandemic situation when we start from the beginning of this year to so far in this moment. How many valuable things we able to occupy and did for ourselves to uplift our personal conventional life, family life, social life, as an ordinary person. Forget about the spiritual path. How about conventionally? And how many unnecessary things we occupied, and how much time we waste for unnecessary things, and it's unprofitable. So then how you look for a better situation, and how you look for well occupied moment in life, and when everything allow you to access and you occupied with things. Even in this pandemic situation, if you occupied with lot of unnecessary situation, how about when you have the total freedom as a social being to do whatever you want? Do you think that freedom you look for to find the to uplift your well-being or your profitable skills? Or mostly people, what they want to go to club, they want to go to pub, they want to have a party, they want to that all other, that the necessary gatherings. So like that, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, you have to look end of the day when you close your eyes. Can you count that all as your life? That's the important. That whatever you occupied, end of the day, can you count it as that the something develop your freedom and total satisfaction? Or that occupied moment giving you pain, loneliness, sad, worry, unhappiness, anger? So then why you keep doing it again and again and again? So it is your responsibility. Look for that, and always remember, at least at least 5 minutes, get unoccupied mind, stay there. Don't allow anything to get into your mind. Total freedom, total clarity, total newness, total unoccupied mind. Try it. Don't listen. Listening to this anything is doesn't make any sense. Try 5 minutes, you will understand something. It that what you understand. We think that if you're able to try it, and if you're able to get what you understand within 5 minutes, 100 years, all these gurus, masters, monks, lectures, Dhamma talks, documentaries, you will understand something better than that all. So try it. 5 minutes, total unoccupied mind, total freedom, total clarity. 100%, not 99, 100%. 5 minutes. Try. You will see where you are, and you will see who you are. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.